Searching for a straightforward guide to help you improve your life? Looking at the book's title suggests it will show you how not to care about things. It proposes that it will enable you to develop detachment. That's not what Mark Manson intends to do throughout the book. Truth be told, in the earliest reference point of the book, the writer makes a special effort to reveal to you that he doesn't advocate lack of interest. Rather than supporting lack of interest, Manson contends that you ought to deliberately pick a couple of qualities that you think about, and afterward, make your best to live by them. It's an eye-opening, thought-provoking, and above all, brutally honest. There's a lot of swearing, but don't let that put you off. The content is clever. You'll quickly become used to the strong language. Yes, there's a lot of profanity everywhere, regularly used to secure the thought of uncertainty or absence of control, but at the same time it's utilized pointlessly, in many occasions only for the stun factor. After the first few chapters, you practically disregard the language used. However, the language is a piece of what the book is about. Manson represents a valuable point. The things you think about go far in deciding if you can carry on with a satisfying life. Each and everything he presents can be connected to your own particular life on the off chance that you need. This is a book for the reader to engage in a meaningful and reflective way. How to identify things that are important in your life and those that are not. It's titled with the picking what you can take care of and the things you can't, and how to handle work, feelings, people, and so on, that you believe you have a consistent fight against. By watching ourselves and how we act and respond to our general surroundings, we can start to see how we go up against an excess of obligations. How do the actions and motives of others affect you? How are they able to dump their own inadequacies or responsibility on you? And how you choose which to accept. One greatest takeaway is a clear comprehension of why you will get focused, or rather what impacts you acknowledge that will make you push. One example for me is work, and these animated book reviews accumulate, so the deadlines for my schedule comes around. I feel it is my responsibility to manage these tasks, regardless of the possibility that there are other people who are or ought to do it as well. I think excessively about my work, and I concentrate on the things I ought to trust others. However, I know the outcomes we ought to go for, and should we miss them, I think about it literally and stall out in myself. This, as Manson says, may solve one problem, but it is more likely to cause more further down the line. He discusses how regular advice simply doesn't function, and pushes us to find out about ourselves, question our beliefs, and begin to fundamentally assess our circumstances. It satisfies its subtitle and provides you with a pack of unreasonable thoughts that assist you to discover joy in life. Manson additionally dives into the privileged, the freedom to decide, and how media tends to focus on a great deal of the greatest, the absurd, and the most costly. We are shelled by the good-looking, sharpest, and the wealthiest, yet a large portion of us will exist ideal here in the soft center. We're ordinary, and that's okay. It's perfectly preferable to some people. He points out how we lie to ourselves. He clarifies ways he was misguided in his own life, and how he resolves that, and to this day, keeps creating those misguided decisions and fixing it and set things right. Manson moreover portrays where lines of commitment are stressed. It happens to everybody. You can just control how you react to things, not simply the things itself. This book guides you through a considerable measure on growing up and managing with your struggles. So quit squandering your life going nuts over things you don't have control of. Be the person you need to be and take care of business. Manson's not the first to state it, but rather he says everything particularly to give us a reminder. A portion of thoughts in this book might be the stuff that you considered as of now, yet having them placed in such a reasonable way, and having interesting inquiries showed to you, is a transformative experience. Those experiences that might help guide you who you are, you will learn to look at your life from a completely different perspective. You'll figure out how to address a greater amount of your considerations and activities, enabling you to have a superior handle of why you act or respond in certain ways. You increase some understanding into how profoundly established a few issues can be, and the book will give you a system to manage them. Manson makes it extraordinary showing with regards to stunning the reader when he needs to. At a certain point, he examines the significance of issues and the significance of picking how you see a given circumstance. He writes, what is objectively true about your situation is not as important as how you come to see the situation, how you choose to measure it and value it. Throughout the book, Manson briefs you on a person named Dave Mustaine, who later formed the band called Megadeth to create a little payback for his older band. The band he formed became successful and sold over 25 million records worldwide. You would anticipate he got his payback. However, Mustaine revealed in an interview that despite everything, he considers himself to be a disappointment, since his objective was to outsell records of his old band. The old band he was dismissed from was actually Metallica, which was more successful in record sales. Surpassing your old band, as Manson writes, is a case of poor metric by which to gauge your satisfaction. The author applies different example stories to illustrate his arguments, will keep you wanting more from the book. Manson recommends these stories we let ourselves know, and others authorize that we should aspire to be, are excessively focusing on what we need, and just to remain to help us remember what we are definitely not. Basically, Manson places that society is urging to give a fuck about everything, and most likely, simply because it's useful for business. He needs to enable you to distinguish great values to live by. You can't think about everything, he contends, so you should pick a couple of things to think about, and you should choose wisely. I provided links in the description box down below on where you can get this book. Click on those links and feel free to check it out. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to hit that like button. What do you think of Mark Manson's approach? Let me hear it in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep updated with the next book review. If you made it this far in the video, I just wanted to give you a little reminder that you're an awesome person. Remember, to make each book you're reading count. Attempt out. I'll see you guys in the next video.